Have you ever been scrolling through Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist and thought, hey, I bet I can make some money off that? Well, you absolutely can. Today, we're going to open up the Flipper's Playbook, a proven strategy for buying items low and selling them for some serious cash. So let's dive right in.
Okay, let's start with a number. $1,500. What's that? That's the pure profit someone made from a single flip. Seriously, they found an undervalued wolf range online, negotiated like a pro, and in just 2 weeks, with maybe 3 hours of actual work, they walked away with an extra $1,500 in their pocket.
And you don't need to hunt for big-ticket luxury items to make this work. Not at all. Another flipper set a challenge for himself, make over $100 an hour, and he did it. He just flipped totally normal stuff, like a mountain bike and an electric guitar. It really just goes to show, this strategy can work for pretty much anyone, at any scale.
So how is all this possible? Well, it all boils down to one single core philosophy. You make all of your money when you buy, not when you sell. This right here, this is the secret sauce. It means your profit is basically locked in the moment you make that smart, low purchase. The selling part just makes it official. So how do you actually do it?
Well, that brings us to part 1, finding the undervalued item. This is the hunt, and honestly, it's the most critical step of the whole process. If you get this part right, a profitable flip is pretty much in the bag. When you're out there looking, there are really 2 main paths you can take. First, there's high-ticket hunting. This is where you use your own cash to buy valuable things that are, for whatever reason, just poorly listed. The second path? That's zero-cost brokering, where you can get started with literally no money down. For high-ticket hunting, you're basically a detective looking for clues. Remember that wolf range that made $1,500? It had been sitting on Craigslist for over a month. Why? Because Craigslist just gets less traffic these days. That's a huge tell. Another flipper snagged a Gibson guitar for a total steal because the seller's photos were just terrible. They were rushed, dark, blurry, a massive signal that the person just wanted it gone fast.
Now, with zero-cost brokering, you're playing a totally different game. Here, you're scanning the free section of places like Craigslist, looking for things like furniture or electronics that still work. The seller's motivation here isn't to make a buck, it's all about convenience. They just want that bulky item out of their house. So what do? You can actually list their free dresser on Facebook Marketplace, find a buyer, and then just coordinate the pickup between the two of them. You're the middleman, the broker, and you never even have to touch the item yourself. Pretty cool, right?
Okay, so you've found a promising item. Awesome. Now comes the next crucial skill you've got to develop, mastering the negotiation. This is where you lock in that profit margin before you've even spent a dime. Let's go back to that 400-pound wolf range. It was listed for $3,300. So here's the playbook. Step 1, the buyer offered a low but still serious $1,200 cash. Step 2, he created urgency. He said, I can come by and pick it up with cash. That tells the seller this is going to be an easy, fast deal. Step 3, the seller countered at $2,000, so the buyer just reiterated his convenient terms. Hey, I'm ready to go, cash in hand. Finally, after a couple days of silence, he knew he had to nudge a little. He raised his offer slightly to $1,500, and boom, they had a deal. And here's a pro tip that will save you so much time and frustration. Always, and I mean always, agree on a price online before you get in your car. Seriously. The absolute worst thing is driving an hour across town, making an offer in person, and then getting shot down. Lock in the price first, then you can arrange the pickup. It's just respectful of everyone's time, especially yours. All right, you've sourced the item, you've negotiated the price, and you've got it. Now it's time to add a little bit of value with some elbow grease. And that brings us to part 3, prepping for maximum profit. The number 1 golden rule of prepping? Presentation is everything. It's like one experienced flipper said, your pictures are what sets you apart. They're what makes a buyer stop scrolling through dozens of listings and actually click on yours.
So what does a pro flipper listing actually look like? Well, think about the difference between a dark, blurry photo of some dusty thing in a cluttered garage versus a clean, well-lit shot you took on your phone using portrait mode. It's night and day. Just wipe the item down, find some good natural light, snap photos from a few different angles, and maybe even stage it a little bit. This super simple effort can dramatically increase how much people think it's worth. And sometimes prepping means making a small but really strategic investment. Take wolf ranges, for example. They're famous for their signature red knobs, right? Well, the one the flipper bought had plain stainless steel knobs. He knew that spending a little to get a replacement set of those iconic red knobs would make the stove sell way faster and for more money. A tiny cost for a much bigger return. That's smart flipping. Okay, the item is cleaned up, it's photographed, it's looking its absolute best. It's time for the final and, let's be honest, the most satisfying step. Part 4, making the final sale. This is where you turn all that hard work into cold, hard cash. Let's look at the numbers from that Gibson guitar flip again. After some negotiation, it was bought for $560. After a good cleaning and taking some really great photos, it sold for $900. You do the math. That's a clean $340 profit. And that was for about 3 hours of work, and that includes driving time. That is the payoff. But listen, as you go to make that sale, safety is completely non-negotiable. Always meet in a busy public place. For big items where you have to go to someone's house or they come to yours, never ever go alone. And if a deal just feels too good to be true, or something feels a little sketchy, you have to trust your gut. Suggest meeting at the local police station. A legitimate seller will have absolutely no problem with that. And this brings us right back around to that core philosophy. You make your money when you buy. Because that flipper bought the Wolf Range for only $1,500 when a buyer showed up and offered him $3,000 cash instead of his $3,500 asking price, he could say yes right there on the spot. He still doubled his money and didn't have to waste time waiting for that perfect offer. Buying low gave him all the power and all the flexibility.
So there you have it. That's the playbook. Source smart to find those hidden gems. Negotiate firmly to lock in your profit from the get-go. Prep perfectly to make your item irresistible. And sell safely to cash in on your work.
If you follow this playbook, you can turn your local online marketplace from just a place to shop into a place you can actually earn. So that really just leaves us with one final question to think about. What hidden value is out there right now just waiting in your local marketplace for you to find it?